And we are back for another Galaxy of Heroes top 15 list for the month of December. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me for this list. And just a reminder of how this works. I have 50 pollsters that I have on my Discord server. These are all going to be super experienced players who really know what they're talking about, that vote every week, or every month, I should say, on who their top 15 characters in the game are, 100% based on their opinion, and it's going to factor in all areas of the game. If you want to know a little bit more about my group of 50 pollsters, go ahead, look in the description below. I have a description of every single member of the list that you can go ahead and read, so you can know who the heck are these guys and what gives them any kind of credibility. But whatever the case is, let's get to breaking down this list, and I have a special guest with me today. Many of you aren't aware that we actually have our own premier Galaxy of Heroes Twitcher, and his name is DB. What's going on, DB?
Hey there, dude. How you doing?
Dude, you're joining us all the way from the mothership over in England, aren't you?
I am indeed. It's freezing cold out here, constantly snowing right now.
See, I'm in Arizona, and we did Christmas, and it feels great over here. It's a balmy, like, 50 degrees outside, so wow, I'm pretty down with that.
I got like 2 inches of ice on my car, so I'm the opposite.
Let's get to breaking down this list, and here's how we're going to do it this time. I'm going to do it just a bit differently as we talk through these. So instead of giving you a big breakdown of all these characters, you already know about all these characters. What we're going to talk about is whether we think that the character is overrated, if they're underrated, or if they're just about right on the list. Because remember, this isn't necessarily where we would put these players. This is where the pollsters have placed them based on all of their votes. Alright, so first impressions. I'm throwing the others receiving votes list up there right now. What are some of your takeaways looking at this list of just the others receiving votes?
Well, immediately, Rex being present for the first time in ages out of the top 15.
Ever.
Yeah,
He's never been out of the top 15 since I started doing the poll in July. Something that stands out to me is Asajj Ventress and Night Sister Zombie. I really don't think people realize how good Asajj Ventress is. Do they?
Definitely not. I mean, I run both of these characters in my arena team.
Okay. You're the guy to talk to then.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Night Sister. I'm taking out the Zeta Barris teams with Kenobi, even with Hermit Yoda in them, which most people struggle to deal with when you pair all three of those up. They're going through the Rey teams. They're just excellent characters. Zombie in particular I'm really surprised she's not top 15.
Coming in at number 15, we have Chirrut Imwe, who is down 3 spots now, right on the edge of that top 15 list. We may have a top 15 list one of these days without Chirrut and Baze, my people. So, what do you think, DB? Is Chirrut overrated, underrated, or just about right here?
This is a tough one for me. I'm gonna say it's about right, because when you put him with Baze, there's no denying they're an excellent duo. But at the same time, I've never really rated them as high as a lot of people do. But I couldn't really say he was overrated at the same time, you know.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm going to say he's a bit overrated. And the reason for that is not as much because Chirrut, he does have some strong uses in the game right now. He's going to do well against Night Sisters. But I feel like there's characters down there like Imperial Probe Droid, like some Night Sisters like Asajj Ventress or Night Sister Zombie, even Old Ben, that deserve that spot in the top 15 more. Looking at number 14, we've got Hermit Yoda, and he is new to the list. I think people are finally realizing he's good. I think he's just about right here. I'm going to rate him as just about right at number 14. What do you think?
I'm not with you there. I'm actually going to say he's overrated.
Overrated? Oh, yeah. No, the gloves are off. The gloves are off.
I've faced him so many times, never even slightly been a factor in giving me any sort of difficulties.
But have you tried him against Akbar Lead yet?
I have faced Akbar with General Kenobi as well as Hermit Yoda. That can be pretty unpleasant. There are a lot of heals, but even then, I still do win about 50% of those battles. All
right, number 13 is Baze Malbus, and he is down 2 spots. And this is also notable, the first time that Baze and Chirrut have showed up not right next to each other on the poll, so take that for what it's worth. I'm going to say Baze is probably just about right. I think Chirrut is overrated, but Baze, I do think he still has more uses because he's just such a strong tank, and he can work without Chirrut. He doesn't depend on Chirrut like Chirrut depends on Baze. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say about right as well. Baze is useful against teams where Chirrut wouldn't be. You know, he's got that cleanse, he's got AoE attacks, he's pretty powerful in his own right, and he is so tanky.
Alright, number 12, new to the list, and first month he's ever been considered, really, is the Wampa. I think the Wampa is underrated, to be honest, and this is mostly because I've had a chance to really handle him at his best, and the Wampa, he just, especially against Rebels, which are going to be still very prominent in the meta, he can just hit for insane amounts of damage on his basic. I think the Wampa is somebody not to turn your head at. What do you think?
I can't really give too accurate of an assessment of Wampa. I've not had a real chance to use him. I have faced him, and he is a real handful though, so he's definitely not overrated, that's for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him rise when more people get access to him too.
Alright, coming in at number 11, we have Mother Talzin. Overrated, underrated, what do you think?
Underrated. Talzin she's an incredible lead. She's such a handful. When you pair her with this, when she's got Zetas in particular, and she's getting so much turn meter, it feels like she never stops attacking. If you stack some offense mods on her rather than the usual speed suggestion, her basic, once you've got Plague on people, it will take out most teams in a hit or two.
Definitely underrated. In my opinion, I think Talzin's top 5. I think she should be top 5.
I couldn't argue with that. I really couldn't. I think she's a fantastic character, one that I was waiting for such a long time, and I wouldn't even dream of dropping her from my team at this point.
Alright, coming in at number 10, we got Finn, and Finn is down 3 spots, which I think makes a lot of sense with the introduction of Jedi Rey. I think that Finn is just about right, or maybe a bit overrated at this point. The reason I'm going to say, I'm going to probably lean towards just about right, because he still does have a ton of use in territory wars, in territory battles, in raids.
He is placed about right, but primarily his uses are not arena whatsoever because, like you said, just defensively the resistance don't know how to function. They seem to target everyone that isn't exposed. And for
it's like in their kit not to attack exposed on the AI.
Exactly. The only way to stop him being overpowered. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see him drop more over the coming months.
Coming in at number 9, we have Barriss Offee, and I'm going to say Barriss Offee is probably just about right. I almost want to plug my nose and say underrated, but I think I'm going to say just about right because we have Jedi Rey in the game now, and she's a true direct counter to Barriss Offee. In fact, I think they had Barriss in mind when they designed her kit. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with that too. I mean, I hate facing Barriss. Single most hated character for me to go up against. She's excellent against so many teams, whether they're attacking you on offense or whether you're trying to take them down and they're on defense. Just an excellent character when paired with Kenobi.
Number 8 is Darth Nihilus this month, and he is down 2 spots. This is the lowest I've ever seen Darth Nihilus on our list, and I think he's just about right on the list. This is probably where I would put him myself. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say that was fair too. Nihilus has been around forever now, and I think so many people have figured out how to face him by this point and how to beat him.
Alright, number 7 is BB-8. BB-8 is up 2 spots this month, and I think 100% deserves the jump. I'm going to say BB-8 is just about right. Especially because BB-8 now with Rey Jedi training it finally has a legitimate spot in the arena. I would almost say a meta spot in the arena just because of how OP this combo is between Rey and BB-8.
I'm actually going to go underrated on BB-8 to be honest.
Woo!
I think
I
think he's excellent. The scores that he'll bring for you in Heroic AAT are just outrageous.
All right, coming in at number 6, we have Han Solo, the raid version of Han Solo, and he is down 1 spot. And I think this is just about right. Han Solo is still a very, very solid character. I don't want to take anything away from him. His Zeta ability, shoots first, is, I mean, the pure DPS that Han Solo brings to the table is awesome. I just think that there's been a shift. There's been a shift in the meta, and I think that characters like BB-8 and Rey are maybe having more of a place in here. So I don't think it's necessarily taken away from Han Solo as much as it is just making space for new talent. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't say he was underrated at 6th. That's a fair spot for him. He's an excellent character. Getting that first attack when it stuns someone can be really, really useful. It's what I used to use to take down Thrawn a lot of the time. But
Right.
to be fair, with so many new characters coming out now, I can't really argue that he should be above them. So
Right.
that sounds about right to me too.
Number 5 is Rey Jedi Training. She is going straight to number 5 after being released just a few weeks ago. And I'm going to say Rey is underrated. I think that she... no pun intended, underrated. I make myself laugh. I think that Rey, just the way that her kit works, especially this Zeta ability, Insight, her leadership ability, how she works with BB-8, what she's done to the meta, she deserves a higher spot than 5. I'm going to say Rey is a top 3 character, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely underrated. She's fantastic. I saw there was a lot of negativity when she was first announced, and most people said she wouldn't affect the meta. And here we are, like, she's not been out for very long now, and I believe there are 4 Rey teams in my arena top 10.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's all over the place. I think almost anyone who unlocked her is using her. Number 4, we've got Thrawn, who is down 2. Thrawn was in our number 2 spot last month, and now he is coming in at number 4. And I'm going to say this is right. I'm going to definitely agree with that deduction for Thrawn. I think he's got less of a play. He's still super OP. I mean, Fracture is an amazing ability. Being able to give 40% protection to himself and another member in Grand Admiral's command is amazing. But I just think that there's new options in the arena, kind of similar to Han Solo. There's new talent around, and I think it makes sense that he's had a deduction on the list.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually going to go... I don't think Thrawn should be 4th. I think he's slightly overrated here. I think Rey and BB should probably be above him at this point.
Yeah.
Thrawn
I think I can agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, Thrawn's a good character, and I'm probably going to get a bit of hate for putting Rey and BB above him, to be honest. But it's not that I don't like Thrawn. I'm a fan of the character himself, but I just don't find him that effective in arena.
Number 3, General Kenobi, who is up 1 on the list. And General Kenobi is he was our first ever number 1 on this list. And ever since Commander Luke came out, he's kind of floated between 4 and 2. And I don't think he's going anywhere. General Kenobi deserves a spot 100%. I'm going to say he's just about right. He's the best tank in the game.
I completely agree. Kenobi's a fantastic character. There is no better tank than him, and he's what I call one of those plug and plays. Just doesn't matter what your team is, Kenobi will make it better.
Coming in at number 2, we have R2-D2. And R2-D2 is not overrated. He is not overrated. I think he's just right. He deserves to be number 2. I would say maybe you could make a case for Rey deserving number 2 more, in my opinion. But I think if I were to do it, I'd put R2 at number 2 and Rey at number 3.
Yeah, I mean, especially now that Rey's around, R2's even more valuable of a character. Before, he was primarily used in the plug-and-play great teams as well as the rebel teams. Now, with the resistance teams appearing everywhere, R2 is essential for these, for reasons we've already discussed in this video. R2's fantastic. Number crunch is an amazing Zeta. Combat analysis can't be overlooked either. The ability to take off, all the debuffs and stuff. He's just amazing. Yeah, what more can you say about R2 that's not already been said?
Number 1, is Commander Luke Skywalker. And I know a lot of you hate Commander Luke. I get it. He's cliche because he's so OP. The reason why you hate him is because he's that good. He might be overpowered. He might be broken. He might be all of those things. But the fact still remains that Commander Luke is the best overall character in the game. He's right where he needs to be, in my opinion. I don't think that it would be right to put anybody above Commander Luke. Even though I made a video that showed Rey beating Commander Luke in a one-on-one match, it's kind of just for fun. I still think Commander Luke is the better, most desired character all around.
Yeah, without a doubt, Luke is the best character in the game, hands down. Name a place where he's not useful, you know? Territory wars, territory battles, both raids, arena. He's just incredible character. Really.
And this is something I've been saying ever since he showed up on the list. It's not just name an area where he's not useful. Name an area he doesn't dominate. Alright guys, so that rounds out our top 15 list for the month of December, our 6th edition of the top 15. What do you guys think about our list? What did the pollsters get right and what did they get wrong? We've done a little debating of that here ourselves. I'd love to hear what you think about it as well. As always, be respectful about your opinions because your opinion is not better than anybody else's. It's just your opinion, so please be civil. Anyway, DB, thank you so much for coming on the channel. If you guys have not checked him out, check out a link in the description below for his Twitch channel. You definitely need to go check him out and follow him. He streams all the time. So anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, as always, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, subscribe, share, all of that jazz. And don't ever forget.
For my dead body. Sorry about the mess.